Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out True Off My Chest. Story 1. After COVID Limbo. Technically I'm still young, but I don't feel that way. I missed out on what were supposed to be some of the most crucial developmental years of my life. I was supposed to have fun during those years. I look in the mirror and it lies to me. I feel like I should still be 20, but I'm 24. Thinner face, thinner hair, and I lost my teenage metabolism in what seemed like 5 seconds. The years don't register in a normal way. I feel like I'm in the wrong body at times because of this. I talk to friends about these feelings, and every single one has said that they feel the same way but never knew how to word it. They feel stuck in time, in a sense. Some of my friends still talk about high school as if it were yesterday, but it's been almost 6 years, and they forget that. We forget that. Story 2. I despise my mother and haven't talked to her in years. Today my youngest sibling asked me to try and reconnect with her. I, 25F, have been no contact with my birth giver, 48F, for a few years now. I've told those closest to me why I don't want to be in contact with her, but my younger sister, 17F, has been trying to get me to talk to her again. She has a far better view of our mother because she and my brother, 22M, were coddled heavily since they were special and I, as the normal sibling, needed to help them and watch over them. My teenage years were spent enduring a ton of parentification that I'm still dealing with issues from today. The woman who gave birth to me constantly berated me for not getting a job as soon as I turned 16 when I was in AP and honors classes. All those expectations as well as the constant verbal abuse meant I began to self-harm. At 15. A practice that I continued even after a doctor noticed the marks when I was 16 and told my parents even after I asked them not to. As soon as the doc was out of earshot, BG said, "How can you do this to me?" Because she was told I needed to start seeing a therapist. Yet, teenager me totally resorted to that because I wanted to spite her, make her life harder, whatever. She never even drove me to appointments, my dad did. He was the only adult in my life really that cared and was worried, but I was too scared to confide in him about how BG treated me because I didn't want her to find out. I knew telling others would just make it worse. It didn't even stop when I became an adult, either. Due to my unresolved mental problems, I dropped out of college after a year and she all smugly told me she knew I wouldn't make it on my own. When COVID happened a few years later and I was scared of potentially dying, I have asthma and a long history of respiratory illnesses, she screamed at me to get a job or she would kick me out. So I left with the help of some friends and bounced around places in a different city for a while. Eventually, that fell through and I had to move back in with my parents. As soon as I landed a new job, BG moved back to a different state because my dad was finally so tired of attempting to save their marriage and failing he started divorce proceedings. I live with him now as well as my siblings, and I haven't spoken to BG ever since she moved out at the beginning of 2021. My sister kept in contact with her, and apparently, she's remarried to another guy who's younger than my dad and has a house. We live in an apartment. Sister wants me to get to know the guy, but I have no reason to. He'll never be a stepdad to me, and to talk to him, I'd have to talk to BG. I just don't want to, but my sister started crying when I kept telling her no and said I was being a bitch for no reason. I've tried to explain everything I typed out above to her previously, but considering her request, I don't think it was processed. Anyway, thank you to whoever reads this. I just needed to rant into the void for a bit. Story 3. I finally scheduled a doctor's appointment. I struggled with my mental health since I can remember. I had my first anxiety attack when I was 6 years old and now I'm close 30, dealing with substance dependence, imposter syndrome, and having a hard time in general getting things done or finding motivation, but I finally scheduled an appointment with a professional to discuss the problem. During the past few years I did my exams, changed my eating habits and routine to live a healthier life, but debated for a long time if I should go see a doctor about my mental health, still believing what my parents told me when I was young, that everybody feels those things, and it's all in my head. After a lot of reading I am convinced that I can take action to get out of this cycle. I'm scared that the doctor will tell me to stop with the substances I'm dependent on, or that I need to take meds for the rest of my life, or that my friends and family won't respect me anymore if I am diagnosed with something, or even that the doctor will say that there's nothing wrong with me so I won't have anything to blame for the problems in my life, but I'm done letting my fear drive my life. Right now, I'm just proud of myself but also nervous, scared and feeling like I could cry. Focusing on the proud part, smiley face, thanks for listening and happy Friday y'all. Story 4. My friend is in a relationship with our teacher. My best friend is in a relationship with our teacher while he has a newborn daughter. Okay, so I will not be using any real names but let's call my best friend Lily and teacher Sam. So Lily and I have been friends since we were 4 years old and now we both are 16 years old. In grade 7, we had different English teachers. Her teacher was Sam while mine was Isabel. In grade 8, we had online class and Sam was teaching us English. He was rather chill and cool teacher so we never had any issues but Sam played favoritism a lot. Lily openly criticized him and that was that. In grade 9, Sam was my class teacher. I was the academically best student in our class so he would always ask me questions and that. He then started asking about Lily and how we met, where she lives. I slowly got creeped out and would not respond him. After that Lily said that Sam would message her at night saying that his marriage was miserable and that he didn't love his wife. He had been married only for 1 year. I warned Lily and told her to block him but she never listened to me. She said that she would block him in grade 10 since he did not teach in grade 10. I told her it was bad idea and to block him. But I did notice that she enjoyed flirting with him and would ask for help in assignment that she clearly doesn't need. I understood that he had other intentions for her and told Sam that I would report him to our in-charge if he didn't stop talking to Lily since I had all their conversation screenshot and others have also noticed their behavior. I don't know if Sam told Lily about my threat or not but I would say maybe he did. Because after 3 weeks in our 10th grade, she stopped talking to me. At first I didn't understood why she was not talking to me but I connected the dots soon. But I made a lot of efforts to keep our friendship but she never tried. We have had a lot of fights where we would not talk for weeks so none of our parents or friends noticed but I knew that we would never speak after this fight. Throughout our 10th grade, I have seen her talking to Sam alone in teacher's office, lunch hall, basketball court, aquarium hall, staircases a lot. I always felt like saying it to our in-charge but I felt like a coward and could never sabotage our friendship like that. But after our exams finished I did send an anonymous email to our principal regarding the situation. I don't know what actions have been taken. I just found out he has a 2-month-old daughter so that means he had been flirting with a student while his wife was pregnant. I also wanted to send her all the screenshot but stressing a new mother would have been cruel of me. She and I will meet each other only during our graduation which is months away but besides that our houses are extremely close so I hope I will never meet again. I know that he groomed her and that I shouldn't blame her but she was already 15. She clearly chose a fantasy of Sam rather than our friendship which hurts me more. I never want to contact with her again. And it's not that only I have warned her. Her other friends have also showed concern for her in this situation but she didn't cut them off because none of them talked to Sam like I did. Story 5. My friends never showed. I moved to a big city with 2 friends from college. We lived together for a year before I decided it was best to live on my own since we have different living styles. I still thought we were friends despite this. I've been to all of their play debuts and such. I wrote and debuted my first play. They didn't show up and I'm crushed. The only connections and feelings I have of home didn't show up. They're really the only 2 people I really wanted to be there. They were like family to me and they makes excuses to not show up to things I do, but they didn't show up to this, after all the support I've given. It makes me not want to do this stuff anymore because despite them acting this way, I'll always wish they were there and they never will be. I'm now realizing. Not much of a point to celebrate your wins when no one, especially those close to your heart, aren't even looking. Story 6. If I'd known how bad my husband's snoring would be, I never would have married him. Yes, we lived together before we got married. He used to snore a little bit in the summer due to allergies. Now I'm 12 years in, married with kids, and it's too late. His snoring is worse than ever and he's not willing to do anything about it. Story 7. We added each other to socials. 5 minutes later he blocked and deleted me on everything. I'm exhausted. This happened today and was a momentary blow to my confidence. This guy I met on Bumble had been chatting for a couple days. I am always straightforward with people about who I am because I don't want any misconceptions. I told this guy that I am not the typical Insta-looking girl, that I'm chunky/curvy/thick, and that I'm not fit. He said that was totally fine. 5 minutes later, after he added me, he blocked me and unmatched. I know I'm not 22 anymore, not skinny mini, I've had a kid since then. He knew and was also okay with it. I'm 31 now, with a mom bod, but I'm still cute. I've got a tummy and some thunder thighs with a big booty. But not in a way that's sexy maybe? I don't know. I have my days where I'm like blah, ew, my body, gross, but most days I feel pretty good about myself. Men say they are okay with XYZ things, but once he saw my Insta, something made him delete it. I am me. That is it. Nothing more, nothing less, just me. I'm glad the trash likely took itself out. He also kept trying to talk about sex when I changed the subject. Even though he claimed he wanted more than just sex. People are so confusing. I don't understand the dishonesty. Is sex that good for men that they can't contain their lies in order to obtain sex? Someone please tell me why people are so dishonest about who they are and what they want, and why they care so little for others' feelings. It's so discouraging and I'm exhausted. How is anyone supposed to trust these days? Ugh. Story 8. I have a brain cyst but have to wait to find out what type. I, M32, UK, had an MRI for an unrelated issue and they happened to also find a cyst in my temporal lobe. My consultant referred me to a neurologist who I'll see next week. My partner and family are getting quite stressed about it, but it could be nothing. Apparently it depends on the type of cyst, its location, size, and whether it is growing. I'm getting married next month and even though it is likely harmless, I feel like I'm walking around under a cloud and I just cannot concentrate on anything. I'm not sure whether to feel silly that I feel this way, but I'm acting with everyone like I'm fine. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.